the Contour Boot Tuning Fork Accessory. So this little device down here is something that I created and that we named the Contour Boot. And what it does is it slides onto the end of the handle of any weighted tuning fork and tightens in with a little inset screw. And the reason why I created this in the first place was that I was looking into having gem feet made. You might be familiar with those. You can get things like amethyst or rose quartz or different kinds of stones. And I'm generally a pretty sensitive person, and I was curious if I would be able to tell the difference between, say, rose quartz and amethyst if I wasn't clued into which one was being used on me. And what I discovered was that I really couldn't tell the difference. And I'm not saying that there isn't a difference and they're not useful and that other people maybe can tell a difference, but things have to work for me in order for me to share them with other people. And I realized that there wasn't any kind of boot out there that didn't have a gem foot in it. And so they're pretty expensive, you know, they can be like 90 to 100 bucks. So I decided to create a less expensive, same idea with the sort of rounded soft surface, because just the handle of the fork by itself, like on your face, is not very comfortable. It's sort of pokey, and it's nice to have it softened. And so these are half the price of a gem foot, but it provides the same kind of feeling for those of us that don't feel the gems, basically the rounded, smooth, sort of enjoyable feeling of it sliding over your skin. So what you do is you take a weighted tuning fork. This one is the Sonic Slider tuning fork. It's 93.96 hertz based on the Schumann resonance. This is also my own creation. You can activate it against the palm of your hand, get a good vibration. You want to make sure when you activate these that you don't do it in a wimpy kind of way and get no vibe going, right? It's really important when you hit it that it really vibrates. You really feel it in your hand, okay? Don't kid yourself into thinking that it's good when it's not. And you can find other things to activate it with. You can use a hockey puck or one of our green strikers. I'm just gonna use the side of the chair here. That worked pretty well. So then you apply the fork with pressure. I think that's important. And you can make these circular kinds of motions that just like wakes up the bones in your face and gets the blood and lymph moving. So you can really use it any way that you feel inspired to. In fact, one thing that you can do, hold on one second, is you can use two at the same time. In fact, I have a girlfriend who does these really fancy facials on people. Like, she does all the cool stuff that you can possibly do all in one facial. And then she's integrating these using two. So, you know, if you're somebody who does facials for people, you know, any kind of esthetician, just takes a massage experience to like a whole nother level, you know, especially for people who have things like tight jaw joints, right? You can just hang out. And this is so much nicer than a pokey stem, right? And you can work the neck. And the nice thing about two is, you know, you can go in and you can kind of squeeze joints and things like that. And you can work on either side of the head, you know, the temple. You can work the hairline. So one is good, you know, but honestly, like two is better. And these are just especially nice too if you're going to be doing any kind of like points on the body. You know, just if you're using acupressure points or acupuncture points or just your own instinct, coming in and using a weighted fork with a boot is just a nicer experience to be on the receiving end than not. So, so there you go. Contour boots available at biofieldtuningstore.com.